ARESxGOD here, and it's time to talk about Shield Hero and this very Raphtalia focused episode, which I liked it, but was it just me or was this a bit too rushed? Kinda didn't have that same impact. Sure, the last scene did have quite a bit of impact, but they kinda got to it a bit too fast, so that was what I was feeling about it. It hit the right notes, but just a bit too fast, and I know I keep repeating myself. I'm curious what you guys think. Was it too fast or was it just right enough? But enough rambling, so let's get into it and talk about it. Now, it picks up from last episode, from the end credit scene we had with Raphtalia in chains, which triggers a bit of her memories and past traumas with her being a slave and everything she went through, but also kind of put a lot of guilt on herself, feeling very guilty for how she left things with Naofumi, how they got split up, wanting to see him again and apologize, even though she doesn't need to apologize for anything. But also her conclusion that she comes throughout this episode was very important, and we'll talk about that. Now, what I liked also in this episode is we get to see the trio again, which I really hope in the future we're gonna have all of them working together, especially since I feel like Kizuna is kind of gonna connect them even more after this episode, because she ends up in the same cage as them, which this cage drains their power, all of them being confused, but they're still on their truths. They share a bit of information, especially about the infinite labyrinth, being shocked that Naofumi's group actually escaped from there. And I liked, and this is why I say Kizuna is gonna be very important, between the relationship between the two groups, Naofumi and the trio, as I call them, Therese, Lark, and Glass, because Glass was the one that was most affected by the news, finding out that Kizuna was there. She didn't know there. She kind of looked everywhere except that spot. But Kizuna is very important for Glass, and she also feels guilty she wasn't the one that saved her. Now, this also caused her to get very excited at the news, and this prison of exhaustion, how they called it, affected her quite a lot, since she's a spirit, and her life force is also her power. And yeah, I can't wait for them to finally be together in a room or wherever, and Kizuna finding out what Glass's group has done in Naofumi's world after what Naofumi did for her, saving that. I can't wait for that conversation. It's kind of the one thing I'm more excited about now that they're finally reunited. We'll have to see. Now, they escape thanks to Raphtalia's illusion, magic, stealing, and charm from one of the guards that were protected against the effects of the prison. So they decide to head to Sikul again using the hourglass. But along the journey, thankfully, which was quite cute and fun, Raphtalia wins them over with her cuteness, mannerism, and everything, because they had to get some food, new clothes, and thanks to Therese being a walking vault of jewels, she was the money bag, even though she didn't really want to part with her jewels. They sell some of them, get some food, some clothes, even a weapon for Raphtalia, but food was the most important one, still growing, and they kind of got very attached to Raphtalia after they saw them. She has that power of winning people over, and Therese being the money bag, like I said. Now, Raphtalia was slowly getting bigger, actually had growing pains a bit, so you can see where this was heading, so to say. Now, Raphtalia and Glass have a moment together, bonding a bit more over Kizuna, and you can see Glass getting very shy and flustered when talking about Kizuna. I'm curious if there's something more between Kizuna and Glass. We'll have to wait and see for the answer to that. I just have my assumption, but who knows, that's gonna be quite nice if it actually turns out that they're more than friends or sister, something romantic between them would be something really good if that's the truth. Now, while they're on their journey back, they stumble upon the decision or people gathering to decide who uses the katana vassal weapon. A new candidate was up for it. Now, one thing they said very curious there, besides what happened with the katana vassal, before they got into that, apparently one wielder of a weapon affects the military balance quite a lot, and it also affects Lark, which we don't really know anything about Lark. Before they can fully talk about it, they rush over to see what's happening. Now, I'm curious, what does this mean? Is Lark some sort of I don't know, prince, royalty, or involved with the military, maybe a king? Something there got me thinking about Lark and who exactly he is besides the side hero and trying to save his world by destroying another one, but that's another conversation. I'm really curious about his backstory, all of their backstory, Therese's, Glass's backstory. Hopefully we're gonna get some answers about the trio, because I'm quite interested, and I really hope at some point they're gonna end up working together by choice, not by being forced in a way, for lack of a better word. Now we finally see who this candidate is, and is the asshole Kazuki, being very smug again, but he got rejected instantly by the katana, and it goes and ends up with Raphtalia, which is quite nice. I like that quite a lot. She ends up being chased by the guards. She also lost her slave crest because of the weapon. Kazuki didn't take that one very good, losing the weapon. And this is where you see how attached the trio have gotten to Raphtalia. They were willing to help her, get her out of there. But she makes the decision to go off on her own run off. Now, thanks to the weapon, she got big, like actually back to her old form before coming into this world. She still had all of the guilt, everything that happened, thinking of Naofumi, is she ever gonna see him again, the others, and she stumbles on this temple, still thinking, wanting to say sorry for everything. But this is why I liked quite a lot finding her determination. I feel like this helped her a lot of development for Raphtalia. Didn't want just to be Naofumi's sword, saying, I want to stand by your side, like actually being equals. I feel losing that slave crest, her journey being getting to this point, was quite important for her. Now, before she can fully go through her thoughts, so to say, you're still being chased by guards, and a temple girl sees her there and hides her. And we have the moment, I wasn't expecting this, to actually see naked Raphtalia undressing her, instantly giving her new clothes. And it's revealed that they used to be servants of the katana heroes for generations. Now, I gotta say, Raphtalia looks very, very good with those samurai clothes, finding her new determination, convictions there, but also kind of reminded me of a bit of Bleach. I don't know, I feel like I was watching an episode of Bleach, which I'm super excited for Bleach to come back, but every time I see stuff like this, I instantly think of Bleach, and I was like, so Raphtalia got her Zanpakuto, and she unleashed her Shikai in this episode. That was my entire thought process with this episode. She goes outside, fights the guards, but Kazuki also shows up again, being an asshole. She quickly took care of him with an attack, Powder Snow, which didn't really cut him. I don't think they censored it, or maybe they did by the looks of it, but my first instinct was like, didn't actually cut his body. I thought she cut his magic or actual life force in a way. I'm not sure how that weapon works. It's not fully reveals the power of the katana weapon, but that was my thought with from what I've seen. Kind of got very exhausted, same as the prison, mentioning that his magic is not really there. Now he still has this budget clones of Byakko, one of the Guardian's Beast, the tiger in Japanese mythology, which we haven't seen the full form of Byakko, just these budget copies. He tried to use them, she quickly takes care of them. Again, unleashing her Shikai with instant blade mist. It was really a Bleach episode for Raphtalia. She even has that clashing of swords, don't move or you'll die, with Kazuki cutting him, but if he moves he's gonna instantly die. We also see more about the relationship between Kazuki and Kyo. He just wants to get one up over him, so they're not really friends or partners, more like frenemies, rivals. In a way, I'm also curious about their history, and I still want to punch Kyo quite a lot more than Kazuki. Kazuki also deserves it. He's an entitled asshole, but Kyo is just a straight up asshole from everything that we have seen. Now, this took quite a lot out of her. She was really tired. She almost collapsed down and kind of accepted her fate when one of those budget Byakko, bigger one, showed up, one of the clones. She was accepting her fate, saying, "This is the end of the road. I did everything I could." But the timing, we all knew was gonna happen. Now Fumi comes in, they save her, he protects her. Philo trying her best, but she's still in a kid form, doesn't really have her power back, still weak. Izuna easily takes care of the tiger. They have a happy, emotional reunion. Now Fumi crying, so emotional from him finally getting face to face with her again, and even saying, "You're free now that the safe crest is gone," hugging, and I've returned home, which was a very emotional reunion for both of them. And I don't think Raphtalia is gonna ask for the slave crest back, but we'll see. It's Shield Hero, and they could instantly go back with slavery is a good thing. You never know. But overall, was a good episode. But like I mentioned at the start, was it a bit too rushed to reach to this point? Like, yes, it hit the right notes, the conclusion, the reunion happened, but it just felt like, just let's get there, let's get to that conclusion quite fast. The prison escape, her journey, the Kazuki fight, getting the weapon, the reunion in just one episode. Maybe one more episode, or at least two more episodes to reach here. It hit quite a bit, it hit Naofumi quite a lot, losing her in his face, and it didn't have that same weight to it, so to say, with just one episode until they're back together. Now, I'm excited, like I said, about the conversation with Kizuna and the trio with Naofumi also getting back at Kyo again. But we'll have to see. I'm really curious what you guys think about this episode. Was it too rushed, or what do you think? Especially source material readers, have they done any more changes besides keeping things? How do you feel about the series overall, and especially this episode? Let me know down in the comments below what you guys thought about it. As always, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, helps me quite a lot. You guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. And again, the sun ruining my plans of recording with the lighting, but yeah, again, thank you. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.